The following views and opinions are not those of the BET Cooperative Credit Union Limited or any of their affiliates. Welcome to another riveting episode of Making Dollars from Cents. This is our 4th episode in, so by now, you should know, it's me, your favorite host, Shanelle, and my loyal sidekick, Lisa.
Hello.
So we are now coming off a long weekend, and I think we're pretty much rested and all ready to go.
Oh, yes.
So, Lisa, how was your weekend?
My weekend was extremely restful. I slept like a baby. I kid you not. 90% of my weekend was sleeping.
But that was like really good considering you got like 2 sons.
Exactly.
Like, you gotta tell everybody out there what's the secret that you gotta sleep. That's almost 4 days.
Yes.
Almost 4 days with 2 kids.
Right, because my younger son, he went to his grandmother, and the elder son was by his grandmother. So I was able to, and then we had rented a villa, and I really want to encourage persons to really get together with their friends and enjoy Barbados. What we did, a group of us got together and rented a villa. The pool and everything. So outside being hot, it was really nice to have the AC, the pool, the ambiance, and yes, I slept in the middle of all of that.
Which is absolutely fantastic. I didn't get enough sleep, if you ask me. I had a rough week last week. And then, so this weekend should have been rest, but I was pretty much playing catch up with work. So I came into work on Monday when I should be resting. I actually did some work. It's Monday or Sunday? I can't remember. The weekend is like a total blur. But I did a lot of work over the weekend. But it was kind of like bittersweet for me because it's usually like last lap for crop over. And I'm usually going all the time. And the climax will be Kaduma Day, but obviously, again, another year. No Kaduma, no crop over. But last year, I definitely needed rest. But this year, I kind of missed it because it's usually like a creative outlet for me. Like outside of money and stuff like that. Because I like what I do, especially with the makeup. Like the use of colors, feathers, gems, meeting different people and seeing like their personalities and like how they express themselves, especially during the season. Because to me, that's what crop over is to me. Like a form of expression, basically. So, it was kind of bittersweet. But I feel tired, like, if I do makeup, could do my Monday, and I get to rest you. But, like, that's how I feel. But, nonetheless, I appreciated the time home. I get to clean a little bit.
Exactly. You were safe. You weren't, nobody was tampering with your health.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we still being thankful.
Yes, definitely. Always being thankful. So today we are going to be talking about to rent
or to buy.
A decision that we all think about as we, stroll through our late 20s, early 30s. Sometimes even a little further. And I would say it's most people's lifelong dream to like own a home.
Yeah.
A piece of the rock kind of thing. So like, but is it for everybody? That's the thing. Is it for everybody? Is it the best decision sometimes? Like, you don't know sometimes until you get into it. But I want to issue a major disclaimer here that especially with this particular topic, like it's almost like a reminder that this is me and Lisa talking about our experiences, and these are our opinions. But if you're trying to purchase a home or get a piece of the rock, or even thinking of renting or whatever, you're more than welcome to come and visit BT Credit Union, and we can, or just call and make an appointment, and we can actually sit down and discuss that. But this is just to kind of give like the pros and cons of renting and buying. Yeah. So that you can get an idea of what you're getting into. But in terms of making a major financial decision, feel free to always reach out. or even if you have a financial advisor, feel free to even reach out to them. So back to the topic. So I think everybody pretty much knows what a mortgage is right now, but I will just go over it. And the definition of mortgage is basically a loan from a financial institution that helps you, the borrower, purchase a home. The collateral for the loan is the actual home that you are building or living in. In the event that you don't make the monthly payments or you default on the loan, then you can sell that home to recoup some money and pay the bank. But in the event that owning a home is not your dream and you're not ready for that long-term commitment,
Right.
and you just want to rent, then you can go ahead and rent. And we know what renting is. It's basically hiring or letting is an agreement where payment is made for the temporary use of a good, service, or property owned.
Exactly.
Right? Because we know you can rent cars.
Oh, yeah.
You can rent houses.
As well, too, yeah.
You can rent tablecloths.
Everything you rent, you can rent, even here.
Yes, exactly.
So you can rent, yeah.
You can definitely rent. So we can just jump right into it and go into the pros and cons. So the first thing I gotta ask you, I gotta ask you, Lisa, like, for you, like, what is your stance? Will you think, for you, what do you prefer?
Well, let me first go back and then come forward. Last time on our podcast, when we spoke about the lending institutions for entrepreneurs, we did mention 2, but there's 3. The Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme.
Oh,
yes. That one is only after it was like, oh my gosh, the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme.
Which is yes.
Yes, exactly. And
Which is yes.
And I was like, Lisa, why do you forget about who? So I just wanted to throw it out there. You have, in regards to getting loans for your business, you have the Youth Entrepreneurship Scheme, you have the Barbados Trust Loan, and we did mention another one, but I just can't remember right now. But yeah, but I just want to add it out there.
Yeah, because I'm not sure if the Small Business Association...
I'm not too sure they do loans.
Mm-mm. But what about fund access?
Right, and fund access.
Yeah.
Right, so you have those lending institutions to help you grow your business. Now, let's get into it. Renting versus buying. Lisa's opinion. For me, it depends on if you have children or not. If you want to leave something for your family or not. That's where I'm on. Mm-hmm. In regards to me having children, yes, I would like to leave a home for them because houses and land does not depreciate.
Yeah.
The value always gets higher. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at that standpoint that, hey, when you pass on, your children don't have to go look for nowhere to rent or they don't have to look for anything else. Or if they are, let's say, going to go to school to study, you're going to use it as collateral, you want to use it as money along the lines, then yes, I'm saying go straight for it. You purchase your home, but understand, along with purchasing homes, still have to pay insurance, still have to pay land tax, and you still have to maintain it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which I understand for you, but I want to know, let's take your children out of the scenario.
For me?
So for you personally,
take my children out.
Because we know that children change the scope of your life altogether.
Yes, it is.
But taking your children out, Lisa, I want to know how Lisa feels.
I would rent.
Right.
I'll tell you why. When you rent, you have flexibility. You can say, you know what, I'm not about this here anymore. And pick up and go, let's say Panama. Mm-hmm. Or as you get older, and I'm saying this based on experience of seeing how older people who were renting for years just went like, you know what, I'm going to live my days out. Whereas they terminated the contract and just went from cruise ship to cruise ship to cruise ship.
I understand. Yeah.
You know, so for them it's like because you're able to have the flexibility. There's no long-term commitment really into just renting someone's place. If you, depending on what you sign, because if you sign a lease, well, you know that you gotta do a long-term. But if you look at little things, again, coming back to maintenance, because maintenance is a big thing. When you have a property and you're renting, you don't have to worry about if the pipe bursts. That's not your concern as the landlord. Mm-hmm. If you look up in the roof and you see termites, landlord. If you the tiles start to pop right up because of the heat, the tiles start to pop up, landlord. So for me, honestly, so I wouldn't have to deal. And you have packages also when you are paying your rent. You can have you pay your rent, utilities along with your water bill. So I cuts down now on my utility bills that I have to pay per month. That I can now focus on other things, as I said, enjoying me. So if I want to choose to go and live a life, as I said, to travel or do other things, you have that flexibility.
But I agree. I agree, especially if you're talking to, since I'm talking to Lisa without the kids, right? There's flexibility, but then I feel like there's also uncertainty. And why I use the word uncertainty is, suppose I'm going to use your cruise ship definition, where like if you wanted to pick up and say, look, I want to go and work on a cruise ship.
I want to travel the world.
I want to travel the world. You
Exactly.
want to, that's fine. But then it comes a point where it stops. Like, you no longer have that zhuzh to, like, do that anymore. Or maybe, like, you reach your limit. You tell yourself, look, I done see half the world already. So, like, I really ready to sow some oats. And I feel like there is, when you have your own home, there's no fear or anxiety in, like, you could come back to some place. So let's say you had that flexibility where you actually like had a home and you left, right? And you traveled the world. Like, you could come back. You still have some place to call your own, right? That's what I'm thinking, right?
I get you,
and then there's one agreement, and that one agreement is with you and the financial institution that you've made to make those monthly payments.
That's the thing. It's like, when you, again, this is just my opinion without having, as Shanelle said, without having the dynamics around me. But when you have the commitments, it's like, and you are a free-spirited. And that's the thing, too. Y'all look at the personality of the person.
Well, true.
I'm a whole extrovert. And I guess when people hear my voice, you can tell this girl just enjoy herself. Yes, I do. So
in here bouncing off the wall.
Exactly. I do not need coffee. This is natural adrenaline. So, like, when you are like a free spirit, you just go like, you know what? Whatever. So then you, as I said, yes, you may want to come back home to something to call your own. But then you go like, you know what? Yeah, when you come back home, you may gotta spend it extra, because remember this. And then I'm speaking from my experience again. Then you leave a house closed up so long. The generations of cockroach, termites, everything decide to move in your house that you never ever expected. And you have to now go and find all type of person or contractors to remove the whole herd that would have moved in your place. When you leave it shut up so long.
I understand, but I still feel there ain't nothing better than not having a landlord hassles. And I could, let me speak from experience. So, my personality is, I don't know if anybody ever see the ads, this is your money and you want it? No, that's me.
A flat?
Like, not a flat, like one of them, like, lawyer.
Oh.
JG Whitworth call 4677 whatever. Anyhow, no. That's me. I am a person, like, once I pay my rent, if something gotta be done, let it be done. You got my money. So I feel like when I own my own house, if I spin around twice and I see a crack in my tile, once I have the money, I can fix it. If I don't fix it, that's not me. That's like me personally, Shanelle will have to deal with that.
Understood.
But I hate the fact that something has to be done in the home and you will let the landlord know verbally. You send an email.
You're real nice. Go on.
If I could have do Morse code and send small signals, I would have do it too.
The next notice would have been termination.
Right. So really and truly, like, you said termination, but then that goes back to uncertainty for me. Because the problem is that ain't only me, it's me and my business. So the layout of where I am now is absolutely perfect for that purpose. Right?
That's when y'all don't have faith. And sure bet God will show you another light.
Listen to me.
Happening again, you will find
let me tell you, he's one boy that don't let me down. But I want to preach today. Right? I want to preach today.
Understand.
And I know that if it was that I was to leave from there, when they start searching, it will find what I'm looking for.
Exactly, and exactly what you're looking for,
and it will find exactly what you're looking for. But when they searching, I don't find it. Right? So when they realize that I keep searching and not finding what I'm looking for, I just take a step back and they be like, Laura, you know what? This is Shanelle going on her own understanding, and I need to just lead the way. So right now, he leading the way for me. Okay. Right? So where I am is perfect for me and my business.
Understand.
Right? So that's why I really haven't left yet. So I had an issue when we had the storm, the hurricane. And I think most people had the same issue. And it's a wear and tear thing where like it had some water coming through the windows and stuff. So I reached out to her and I said, well, I reached out yet because my girl called me the Monday. She ain't off the roof off. She called and she said, when you come across, and they catch a full fit. Any of my friends that know me or people that know me know that I have a temper that I hold back. And I like old people. So I ain't gonna really.
I just call them seasoned.
No, old people, ain't seasoned about them. If you had 2 strokes and you walk with a king, you old. Full stop.
What?
Right?
They have young people that like that here.
All right, so let me take that back. But so she has age. So for me, and I have a grandmother that I love so dearly. So I don't believe in full shelling old people. Right? So anyhow, and I using the word old because she got age for true. Anyhow. So like I was like, but you even call to make sure that we out here are or whatever. Like they even break off the laundry door. If not for the awning, my laundry door will be next gap. And like she even call to make sure you're alright, but she called right. You understand? And to me, that's why I say like no. I can be so honest with you. That day brought me just a little bit because it took so much from me to kind of really hold in what I wanted to say, because I should never be in a situation, like for me, I feel like at my age, I should never be in a situation where I gotta be literally begging somebody to come and fix them place.
I telling you, I would have given a notice to quit a long time ago.
But as I said, if it was only me, well, I do have a roommate, right? But outside from that, I do have a business. If it was only Shanelle and she closed and she begged, I would have gone on every since. Furthermore, I would have gone back at my mother. But well, I ain't sure about that. Let me take that back.
All right, there ain't go.
I ain't so sure because
after you fly the coop to go back, honey, no, it doesn't really.
No, boy.
Differences clash.
My mother will tell me there's no room in the inn, right? But if it was just that, I would have gone every since. I would have found how much other places that got about the place.
That's what I'm saying to you. Are you just because listen, you stunt yourself when you say I have my roommate and I have my business. If something was to drastically happen, you will find a place.
But no, I understand that. But I'm also saying to you, that's not drastic enough for me. Let me rewind. I got a patience of Job. and no, it's so funny because it's 2 things, right? I can wait on certain things, right? I can give you a decent timeline because you could be busy, things could be happening. No problem.
How much time did you give my girl?
However, because she's a woman with age, right?
Or had 2 strokes and walk out the cane.
No, I'm not sure if it was 2. Could it just be 1? But the point is, right?
You should mention it. So just turn it back, right?
The point is, right? Because I said to her, I said, listen, if it is that you want to give me a budget, she could give me a budget. She could say, I would like to get XYZ fixed. But if you could find somebody that could do it under XYZ Shanelle, I won't mind that. Because she can't climb the stairs. They got certain she has her limitations. Right? So I understand that. But that honestly, when she called me and she told me so, I want the same evening I went and cashed your rent. But let me tell you, the grass didn't cut. And they call she every single day. Hi, Shanelle here. The grass didn't cut yet. Every single day. Because you got my money now. So if you can call me and not ask about your property, you can cause me to pick at little things. And so as you grass ain't cut, I can call every day. I can call every single day and I can honor you. So to me, like having my own home, I could if I choose not to cut my grass, I choose not to cut my grass.
Understood.
That's not me. But I don't feel good putting my money in somebody's hands and them not because you providing a service,
You still proving my point, I would have done left.
No, I'm not saying no. But as I said, for me personally,
honestly,
if it was just me, my bed, and my clothes, that is fine. Mm-hmm. But I come in with a because the next thing too is if I have my own house, I would never gotten a problem where I put in my makeup. I could do makeup on my own home. When I build my own home, I could put a room for that purpose. There are some landlords that don't allow you to work out their house. You can't run a business or have your second job out of their own home, out of their place.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
Because some people is like, no, that can't work. But the reality of the situation is, you might find somebody to rent your place, but for how long? Because everybody got a second job, a side hustle, some sort of secondary income, mm-hmm. right? Everybody has. So really and truly, furthermore, some things that second income is supposed to be paying the rent.
Pretty much.
So
for me, the basis of, because persons may be like, wait, so why did she choose to say renting after hearing your scenario? And like you I have a couple businesses going on. Mm-hmm. But from young, I was always putting things in, I don't know why, but from young, I was always putting things in place. Rather, it's like insurance plans or whatever for myself. I was always putting things in place. Mm-hmm. So for me, the mindset was because that's what it was. If I didn't have kids, that is what I would have done. Because I was always planning of having that free spirit, always wanting to travel the world. Like, I do something, but not all. I was wanting to travel the world. That was always me. But understanding your point of view, I can understand definitely why persons will definitely want to look to get their own home. For me, it's just because sometimes when you have your own home, it is very nice, but when you have to deal with repairs, mm-hmm. Maintenance, and as I said before, and I do not know for the love of Jesus why we pay that tax. So and if you don't pay, you still don't own. And if you do not pay, you do not own the property. They can take it away from you or once now.
This is after a certain amount of arrears.
After a certain amount of arrears, if you can't pay, don't pay, they take it away from you. So for me, it's that level of responsibility, mm-hmm. and dealing with it from a very young age is like, whew, it can be a lot.
It can be, but I find that renting is limited too. Because so if you say you got a budget, mm-hmm. right? Let's say my budget a month, like my maximum budget was $1,500 for a 2 or 3 bedroom place, right? It limits you in so many ways. Because first thing first, how much 3 bedroom places you seeing at $1,500? Because first thing first, they either look like crap.
You gotta look at location too.
Right, but it get in there now. So then it forces you to go outside of your desired location. Mm-hmm. So for me, I like St. George. Right, true. Okay. I might do St. Thomas, but I ain't sure because people are there nowhere. But I mean, big up my St. Thomas people. Like, I love one and thing, but
I come from originally St. Thomas.
Honestly,
thank you very much.
Honestly, between St. Thomas and St. George, I think it was really screwing up with water out there.
No, that's not true. But I have my grandmother gave a Paris line, and you were pretty good.
I don't know where Paris line is.
St. Joseph, opposite Andrew's Tenantry. Sorry,
but you say that close to St. George.
No. Right, which is the Andrew's Factory.
Exactly. No, we still get water out of there. I talk about a little further. Okay. I talk about like Parks Road and Chalky Mountain thing. Like, I talk about deep St. Joseph. When I talk about border, no. I talk about St. Joseph, the suburbs, Horse Hill, and take that got with the development. No, you. But what we say, it limits you as it relates to location, mm-hmm. because now $1,500 in St. Philip, Fortescue, Bayfield, them like a little close to like house, I think.
Oh wow!
Right,
yeah.
You could get a decent sized home. Honestly, our producer Lewin could probably like weigh in here because he's a St. Philip man. But like you could get a decent sized home for that cost, right? So and he's not in an agreement. So, but $1,500 in St. Michael, in St. George, you might get a 1 bedroom with some nice granite countertops.
Definitely not St. James.
Right. And in St. James, and major areas like Warrens and Prairie Park and Husbands and West Terrace.
That's true.
You ain't getting outside, no, you ain't get a 3 bedroom. And if you get a 3 bedroom in West Terrace, like that, you gotta hope that people, that's another thing, you gotta hope that people take care of the property too. Right. But that's what I say to me is limit you a little bit because no, you obviously have a budget and I know can't be in St. George no more. I gotta probably move to St. Philip to get the space that I want. When I decide that I throw up down there, downstairs, and I get to my boss and I say, listen, I'm ready to buy my home. I'm ready to build my home. I'm ready to get my land and build my home. And he work out all the particulars. And he said, how much you could afford monthly? And they said, well, look, I used to rent for X amount. So, but I feel that my maximum could be the same $1,500. Right? Look and tell me how much I could qualify for and whatever the case may be. He told me, well, look, my maximum is $350,000. But that can be a little more. But I will work it out to suit so that your budget, your monthly repayment is within your budget. Right? So let me say I only qualify for $220,000 or whatever. And I get piece of land. I find a piece of land that's decent. And I able to buy that for less than $100,000. So now I got $120,000 to build. In the grand scheme of building, that's a lot. Right? But my family might feel for me and, give me a door and a window or find ways to cut costs. Even if I have money saved that I can buy some of the materials or whatever. The point is, right, that with my budget, I can get the home that I want. I may be able to still get my 3-bedroom home. I may still be able to get the space that I want. But it may change in terms of the materials. It may not now be a wall structure. I might go use like concrete board or in some places or whatever the case may be. But then that's up to me. That's up to me as a homeowner. Right. But no, it could still stay in St. George.
Understand.
I get what I want. So that's why for me, like, sometimes having a home, you definitely get what you want.
It's true. Oh yeah, that's definitely true. But also too, there's the right to own agreements.
Right. But then that also means that you got a level head. You have to say you got.
Yes.
Sorry.
You must have
a level-headed landlord. Because you could explain to me what your rent to own is. Because how I based on my research, is basically the landlord. You have an account at the bank, right? The landlord technically has the property for sale.
Correct.
So, but you can't buy it right now. So you pay the landlord rent.
Exactly.
And a portion of the rent goes on account for the purpose to qualify
to own.
So let's say it's $350,000 for the property. So 10% down is usually the thing. $35,000 is what you have to get in order to purchase the property. You got to save to purchase the property. Y'all sit down, y'all work out, okay, this is what the monthly would be, and this is the amount going towards to eventually buy the property. So once that account hits $35,000, then you've qualified
to own
the home. To purchase, to go ahead with the purchase of the property, right? So that's what I understand from rent to own.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Okay.
Right. But in terms of making that decision to either rent or to own, you should be thinking about it basically don't wait till late stages, because when you wait till late stages, then the mortgage payments per month can actually be higher.
Yeah.
1, 2. This is really important. I know you love this significant other. I know you said, we're going to get married and have a white picket fence and a dog and dandelions and everything about it.
She used to dandelions.
Yeah, I know that daisies. There we go. when you are getting into a bond, like a mortgage with anybody, and when it comes to our marriage, you have to dot your I's and cross your T's and be able to say, you know what, if this doesn't work out, how far are you willing to let go? So that's another part as well too. Regards, that's what we say, like being a free spirit, because you have to look at the dynamics as you go forward as an adult. You may get, as I say, you may get married, you may have children. You have to look and see where do you stand in regards to your investment? Because it's fine that Danny to start, but during the process and the end, you can get some platinum highlights, meaning gray hairs, along the way to maintain what you actually do have.
Yeah, but you just said nail on the head for me too. You just said invest. And that's what, to me, that's what home is.
It's an investment.
It's an investment.
So that's what I said about insurance as well too. You got to be able to say, well, okay, fine, you have to look to insure your home because you have to protect your investment.
Yeah, you do. And I feel like because most people see home ownership sometimes as a burden. Like, people would be like, oh gosh, I gotta pay my mortgage, I'm tired of this. But really and truly is an investment. Because if you don't plan to move anytime soon, as you say, people who may be looking to really put down roots and stuff, not looking to move anytime soon, to me, it's best to buy a house or buy a property, buy some like piece of the land, something. To say, well, look, especially for people who have kids. And you've made that point, especially for people who have kids. You definitely want, and we spoke about generational wealth in episode 2, and like how having assets and building assets will really be a plus as it relates to generational wealth. So,
exactly. So, and there's a lot of, and also too, you have to look at the fact, and there's another dynamics to that as well too. When it comes to children, who's to say many children go overseas to study? And they will come back. More likely they will sell the house.
But the thing is that...
So that's what I'm saying about generational wealth, using it as collateral.
Yeah, but you can also... And the thing is with your home, with your house and stuff, property appreciating. As you pay your mortgage and that balance comes down, the property, the value of the property goes up throughout the years. So which means now your home has equity. So in the event, let's say you had said child, went off to college or going off to college, and you have some equity in your home, instead of pulling that money now, you may have had a college fund for him, but the reality of the situation is that paying for college is only one step. They got housing. He can be eating and partying and doing whatever he got to do.
Exactly.
So what you could do now is actually take the equity out of your home and use that additional funds to kind of do a refinance and pay for his school.
That's what I'm saying. You use it as collateral.
You use it as collateral, and now you still have your own cash. So that's another plus for having a home. When you're renting, You're building equity.
Hold on.
You basically...
Hold on, again, going back to what I told you. From early, I've had insurance plans. So they mature at certain stages of my life. Children, the same thing. So I can still rent and still pay an insurance plan. So therefore, when the time comes, I can say, okay, that's yours, or whatever the case may be. So that's what I said before. If you are intending to rent long term, you have to put things in place that you can continue generational wealth, that you can continue to, let's say, for example, you're self-employed and you happen to get hurt on your job or you're unable to work. They have plans in place that actually can pay the rent for you. So the different things that you have to put in place to actually maintain, that standard of living. Similarly with a home. When you purchase your home, who knows what can happen? 2 strokes and a cane. Who knows? Who knows? And you would still have to have something to maintain paying the mortgage, paying the utilities. So you always have to, as I said, as young budding, not only entrepreneurs,
but professionals.
You have to at each step. Don't say, "Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So far, all of this heat, we don't know what's gonna happen." Don't look at it that way. Put things in place. You have to do it, because when you're the same way how okay, so which is in a way kind of, I mean, I shouldn't say kind of glad for COVID, but in a way kind of glad that people get to look at life differently due to COVID. Because most of the time,
kind of open your third eye.
Yes, because persons would have taken this opportunity to go and get a loan to jump in a band. I'm saying it. So no, there's no band to go and jump in. So but there may be a bank. You could, not bank, not even a credit union, to go and jump in to save some money that you would not even looked at saving before. So as young people, you have to really open up and come outside of the box, because I mean, realistically, we're seeing everything that's going on these days. I don't really want to list them on this, but we're seeing all of the things that are going on in today's world. You have to find a way to secure yourself for survival.
I know you agree, but like, so even when we go, like going back to when you say like, you know, you got mortgage to pay and utilities or whatever, I can be real with you. The banks and the credit unions and the utility companies, honestly, to me, that was the first to reach out to say, hey, we know that you may not be working. We are looking to offer such and such for at least 3 months to help you. All you have to do is show proof that you may not be working or whatever. To me, they were the first to reach out. Stick a pin. No, I want you good there. Because the thing is, right, let me tell you. The landlords are out there, right? I can tell you no. I know a lot of people that reach out to the landlord. No, first thing first, they just had this thing that Mia get and say, sorry, the right honorable Mia Motley get and say that she said don't pay no rent. She never said so. I don't know if me and the Barbadians have listening to the same directive, but she never said so. She said that she will reach out to she is asking of the landlords to give a ease to some tenants who may be laid off or who may be unemployed at that time, right? So you reach out in the appropriate manner. I did a budget. I said, listen, this is what I could afford or whatever. I spoke to about a couple other people because we had a very similar conversation, and a lot of them was like, no, them still want them full rent. And I was like, no, I can't give you because I can't do the makeup.
Understood.
You understand? So that's like a second, that's my part of my income that I lose in or whatever. And you, as you say, you got other commitments. And the thing is, I'm a person that's renting. So you still got utilities and stuff that you want to pay. And I prefer, it sound ignorant, but if I was a landlord, I could take off $100 or $200 from my tenant's monthly payment, at least for those 3 months, so that they can continue to pay the light bill or to pay other things, or at least have food in the house, to buy a little hand sanitizer or something, because I would not want to then I taking the full rent, and then when them left, the light bill through the roof.
Understand.
You understand where I'm coming from? So to me, it's a give or take. It also shows compassion. And to me, some of the landlords were not compassionate. Don't get me wrong. There are some people who said, look, listen, I could maintain the property. I could give you a month. I could give you a month free. Because I know a friend, he said, look, I reached out to my landlord. He gave me a month free. And he took off something or off of the other 2 months. And I was very grateful for it. Right? And he did that for the entire complex. And that's absolutely fantastic. Because you know what that does? You know, have formed a relationship with your tenant. So your tenant gonna forever feel like, I can't be late with this man, right? Because he is compassionate. But however, the banks were the first to be like, listen, we're offering a moratorium. Come in, make an appointment. Let me discuss what it is and how we could best do it. Even here at the credit union, we did moratorium for 3 months for some people who were not working or who were laid off or who may have had a spouse then that was laid off and it was only one income then managing the home. We did that for people. And then on top of that, people who worked in the hospitality and tourism sector, when they had the second set of when they had the second lockdown or whatever, and then obviously tourist arrivals drop, right? We give them specifically an option to have a moratorium on principal only, which meant that they just pay the interest on their loan, especially those who could afford it. And if you didn't, then you made certain arrangements, because that's what you do. To me, I find that the financial institutions really show up and show out and say, hey, look, we are here for you. Come in, talk to us. Let us see what we can work out for you. You know, Lars didn't do that.
Right, good. So let me get into my point now, because I agree with you. They did come out and say we will be able to assist and what's not. One, not all of them did it. I have been to a couple of banks where, as you were talking about shutdown, I see a complete, I don't even know what to tell you, bacchanal inside of the bank. Because here it was that the person had funds on their account. They are not working, and then the computer decides they will take the money from the account. One. So not in all cases. Some people were still getting the mortgage drawn from their account, even though they weren't working, because the computer was drawing it from the account. That's one. Two, when you say A, you say B. Sometimes as a landlord, your only income is your tenant. Sometimes only income you have is your tenant. You go and the reason why you go and you build apartments is because it is a form of income. So as I said, sometimes the tenant is really the one who is paying the mortgage. So if the bank breathing down their neck, they can then breathe down the landlord neck too. Sorry, the tenant's neck also. So it's really like a little ripple effect. Is another point that you went on in regards to, Lord, I lost it anyway, but those are the main two things. I'm not in anybody's defense, but just saying these are the things that can happen.
No, I agree. Right. But my thing is, so you say that, so yes, most people use a property for income property, right? Yes, sometimes that is the money coming in from the tenant. Could be what pay the bills. It could be what pays the bills and is your bread and butter. Yes, right? It is. So now you're saying we have two people in a very similar situation. So watch it. This is what I go back to saying having a proper relationship. And that's why sometimes I can't deal with landlords. Because if you know, right, that this is what is going to pay the bills, you don't have to work out a budget, because you got two options. Landlord may have a tenant like you that reach out and say, look, Sheila, it could only give you $800 this month. Here, I know it's usually $1,000, but when they work out my budget, in order for me to continue to pay stuff and still put food in the house, I could afford $800. Sheila Hart having said, no, Lisa, girl, I want my $1,000. I want my $1,000. And she down the step and she curlers and she pay the court blocking because she wants she $1,000. But Lisa's a free spirit, so you know what Lisa do? Lisa pack she things and go back in that she mother. You understand? So now watch it. So you got your $800, you got your $1,000 in your hand, and Sheila ain't got her red cent. So she still can't pay the mortgage. So to me, what it is that you cannot create a proper relationship with your tenant, that you could say, well, yes, Lisa, I would take the $800, because you know what that means? It means now that Sheila could reach out to the bank and say, listen, but you know it's a tenanted place and they want to come in and they want to make an arrangement, because my tenant can only afford $800.
It depends on the individual.
Yeah, but this is now my personal belief too, and I feel like if you should not have a place that your rent going straight to the bank, will you maintaining the house on? No, because so it goes back to the same landlord. Like, not her sound bad, but anytime I have to rent again, I don't want, as the Beijing would say, I don't want to have to mount landlord. I don't want that when they put my money in your hand, it no God cut the grass and it no God do this and
that is what it is.
No, but my thing is that means that you're not managing your funds properly. Because a portion of it, a portion of it should be paying. If it's a loan that is paying, a portion of it should be paying a loan, and a portion of it should be kept
for anything that
happens. Because at the end of the day, you got people living. And as I say, it's a service. So it will be very wrong that is. So I provide a service. No, but it's serious. It's serious. That's like a client coming to me and they telling she, girl, bring a foundation and your powder cause I ain't got none. No, what is that? I don't go wait for she to bring money now to go and buy foundation. Nah. It don't work that way. You always have to have a buffer. And that is why I say, if I hand them out, let be what belongs to me. You understand? It's a boy come in and say, come at me and say, Shanelle grass and cut. And I told her every cent, yeah, but I ain't at me. I buy me. And when I cover my expenses, when I get to cutting my grass, I can cut my grass. Don't let it to be I back and call somebody else. Because I absolutely hate that. It is a service that you're providing, and the law landlords are realize that. It's a service you're providing. But, you want that when, because watch it even gets so bad now, right? That if you're a tenant, you know I'll provide 2 references. What you want a reference from you I want a reference from you tenant too. I want to make sure that you're going to be the landlord that you say you're going to be. I didn't want it to be a case where I got to bring a reference from where and they got to show me job letter that I could give you my money. But what about you? What about you?
It is true.
You understand? Yeah. When they go to the bank say, listen, Shanelle. Or the credit union. Well, more the credit union for sure. You go to the credit union and say, listen, there's my 3 pay slips here. There's my expenses. There's my statements for my little makeup business and thing. What gonna happen? Credit union don't ask me for the reference. The numbers there. Numbers don't lie. Who says so? Pop can? Yeah. Good. Pop can say numbers don't lie. So the numbers gonna show that I could afford it. And the loans officer can tweak it to suit because he can tweak it in a way to show when they got peak times, how much more I can make, and when they got down times, the less money they can make. And if we got shut down again, how my income look like, because you gotta show the credit union, look, she could still maintain these monthly payments for the next among her years, right? That's it.
But the landlords
that's it. The more stress I got from there is making sure contractors don't carry my money when they want to build my house. But with the landlord, people know asking for references, and they feel it. If you want a reference from me as a tenant, I want a reference from you all tenants as a landlord. Because the same way you want to make sure I could pay you rent, same way I want to make sure that you can make sure I am comfortable.
It's true. No, I don't argue that at all, but it goes true too with the real estate agent that you would have first contacted in regards to the property, if you do it that way. Mm-hmm. And it's something that's good to ask somebody else. I always tell people when you're going out there to rent, ask a question. Barbados is that small.
Oh, people know. I don't be afraid to knock on your door.
Right, exactly. People know who are away because they would see, and your neighbors do know a lot, because if the landlord is one that is always picky and stuff like that, you will know based on the amount of tenants that would have moved through that particular property. So you right off the bat know, okay, wait, 5 people were in this house, renting this house for the year, something has to be wrong. Not all 5 of them gonna just up and leave.
Let me show you something, right? People in business got this habit of when rain fall, right? We don't want gonna be. You see, if I'm looking at land, a house, or anything, I want my rainfall. Let me go in and see where leaking, because I want to see where water coming through. I ain't to buy on the surprises. Right. I ain't to buy on the surprises. Yeah. But don't get me wrong. There are limitations to owning your own home. And as you rightly say, it is hard when you have to be paying for your mortgage on a monthly basis, and then land tax pops up.
Yeah, like right now people are wondering, like, what is this?
Land tax pops up, and certain things pop up. Before they used to have a major tax benefit for owning, when you own a home. It used to be like used to provide the amount of interest that you would have paid for the financial year when you are doing your taxes, and I think there used to be some allowance on it.
There used to be the insurance used to get, you were able to claim it on your taxes also.
Right. But I don't think there's that option anymore.
So
right?
Then it goes back to what.
Right. So then it kind of, and honestly, I could see in some instances why Lisa would say, well, look, well, I get rent. Because it feels sometimes now like there's no benefit to owning a home.
Except for if you are, again, passing it on.
Yeah, if you got kids and you really want to, like, lay down your roots. And even so, like, there are some people now who have property and who just have land, who trying to get it sell and can't get the value for it because
it's a buyer's market.
It's a buyer's market and how the market is. And then you got a property value at $225,000.
You have to sell it for $150.
You got
because the buyer's market, and not only that too, you have, as I said, put things in place. You drive around Barbados, and there are so many homes are now overgrown with bush, not because people are living inside of it and can't maintain it. Parents would have passed on, and then these houses are now tied up in litigation. So you really have to so when you are studying, as I said before, about getting your own home versus renting, understand the starting part of it, the process and the end result of where, in the hands of whom this property will end up in. Because as I said, it can be tied up in litigation that none of the children, nobody else can be able to live in it because of where the property would have been tied up in. We see a lot with divorces as well too. So you have to know, as I said, the end result when it comes to the property. And if you're going out there and having your own home, I like starter homes. Let me say this straight up. When you go on this monstrosity in a house, maintenance might be a killer. Start bit by bit. So if you have your starter home and then you creep up and you go from there, and then you will decide definitely what you want to do versus going this big one time again, and then you find a couple years down the line you have to knock down this and knock down that, redesign this area to get, to probably split the house in half or do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but definitely what I was saying is that there are a lot of factors involved.
Lots.
When it comes in terms of renting and buying. Right? If, like me, I get frustrated, but I don't let things bother me. So I can get frustrated in a moment.
Even though patience like Job? Oh, just kidding.
You so sick on it.
I know, right?
You can't tell Shanelle. First it was the 2 straws and the can. I know.
Yeah, go here with it. What?
But I get frustrated, right? I get frustrated. But once I let out frustration, I turn on Netflix and go back to sleep. Like, I watch the TV. Like, that's it for me, right? So, and they got slight commitment issues. And when they say commitment issues, for the single guys out there, not that kind of commitment issues. But on a serious note, when they say commitment issues, it takes me, if I'm going to do something new or make a move, it takes me a while. Because I'm going to sleep, like literally sleep on it. I can find 10,000 ways to like that something could possibly go wrong.
Really? I'm like Nikki, I just do it.
But when I do it, right, I in it for the long haul. Okay. Because I know how long it took me to do, because moving out for me was so major. Like it took me at least a week and a half. So, like, when we first moved out, like, my cousin already saw and everything. Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to take my table one day. I'm going to take this the next.
Not me.
And the last thing that was in my room was my bed. Oh. And that was major. So, like, when she called me, she was like, oh, but if the guys can move all these things, I was like, panic attack. Like, not me. Because it's new for me, right? Okay. So that's why and I'm here to say that yes, maybe I should seek therapy.
I would say but like different.
So that's why even moving for me, like honestly, like don't get me wrong, I know if I find someplace, I can find someplace and then find someplace to put me and my makeup business, right? However, it is the process now of me trying to I have to think about the fact that I'm going to move. So I'm going to find 1,000,001 excuses.
You know, if you don't do it right, you're going to get a push out this world. Because when you are looking to grow as well, too, you got to make that choice.
No, the thing is, don't get me wrong. I just see when I need growth. Mm-hmm. And I just make that move. Okay. Like, I just get up one morning and be like, jump. Right?
Yeah.
But as it relates to, like, me, Shanelle, like, doing I don't want to say major, but even if it's, like, making small changes, even, like, right now, I tell myself, I need to get back exercising. So I even, like, look for my gym clothes and thing. Mm-hmm. But that's, like, one step for me. I look for the gym clothes. Yay! You getting there. So it's just to put them on.
and get it cracking.
And get cracking, right?
I understand.
But going back to what I was saying, a lot of factors involved. Mm-hmm. So the mentality, your mental state is very important. It's very important in renting because you got to be able to handle some of these slumlords that I've got, to be honest, out there, right? Yeah. 2, you got to deal with the fact that you're not going to find what you are looking for all the time in a property. So, like, for me, I honestly look out. But I have, like, I got a vision. Like, I watch enough HGTV and, like, you know, enough DIY stuff that sometimes I just walk into a room. And maybe that's also the creative side of me, that I could walk into a room and I could see potential.
Understood, in that room. Yeah,
in that room or in something. Mm-hmm. So I know how to make it my own. If you don't have that, it's going to be very difficult for you to realize you're not always going to get what you want.
True.
Secondly, financial. It all depends on your budget. It all depends on your budget. Oh, yeah. Budget for renting and getting a mortgage. Can you handle it? Because if you think it is going to be it's going to be a financial drain on you, like, don't do it. Don't do it at all. I mean, there are some people that say straight, as long as I could pull my own door in my own home, I can eat biscuit and butter and I ain't got to buy no hot clothes.
Because, you know, at the end of the day, you can turn your own key. I mean, they say in effect, who got their own keys? Like, me.
Girl, some of them don't mean you can't get in effect.
So, right, so it's a lot to it. But as I said, too, is that to put things in place. People always run away from insurance. I am one person, Lisa Neblitz, that says straight, get and invest. Put aside in insurance plans, and retirement plan, because that is your savings. And of course, as going back to what we would have said before about credit union versus bank, put funds that you'll be saving in your credit union also, that you can actually see it grow. You have to do it.
Yeah, you have to be able to see your money grow. The sun don't be shining
all the time, sweetheart. We do have some rainy days. And when the rainy days come heavy.
Yep. Yeah. Especially we've seen that with COVID, definitely.
Right. So $5, $10, you do what you have to do. But as I said, whatever decision you make sure you put things in place as a what if.
Yeah. But to wrap up, I would say honestly, it depends on those factors that we mentioned before. There's no right or wrong when it comes to renting and buying. It depends on your personality. As Lisa said, if you got a free spread and you don't want to be tied down, like, so be
run, baby, run.
Do what you gotta do. If you sign a 6 months lease, you sign a 1 year lease, at one point you can say, look, deuces, I gone. They got a job in Martinique that I like, and I gone. But if you really want to lay down some roots, and honestly, I can be real. Sometimes owning a home is just conforming to social norms because we feel like you got to have a house. Like, that's it. Just like how people be like, they ain't got children, you ain't married yet, ready house. Like, that's it. And the reality of the situation is that sometimes our parents and our family members and society on a whole, like, forces us to do things. We're so conditioned that having a home or having a piece of the rock is a major accomplishment that sometimes we want it because it's a major accomplishment and nothing else, because sometimes we get it and it's be like...
Not like a marriage. It's like a marriage.
It's like, wait here.
You want it all the time, and then when you get there, you go like... Really?
This way sign up for. Like, exactly.
Where is it? So you just gotta move to suit.
Exactly. Because when you in that process and you tell yourself, oh the monthly payment is $1,500. Then the saying the legal fees thing is be like having a foot asthma attack. So it's
complicated. But as I said, it all depends on the personality of the person, what you want out of life while you are here. Because don't forget, we are here for a very short while, so you want to make sure you make the most of it.
Exactly.
Stress-free.
Stress-free. So that is it for our 4th episode, man. Like,
thank you for listening.
I know when I swear that I was going to kill Lisa at one point, but I just got hyped a little bit. It's for that. But seriously, this is the end of the episode. I really hope that y'all enjoyed it. Once again, feel free to email me at news@btcol.com. If you have any questions, comments, queries, like, subscribe, share, visit BT Credit Union on Facebook and Instagram. Share your comments. Let us know what you think. Give us some topics. Maybe you'll make the 2nd season. Maybe we'll invite you on to talk with us and let's have a nice, healthy
conversation.
Mm-hmm. This is Shanelle
and Lisa.
And we are out.
Bye.
Bye.